All right, so I'll just quickly show you what we aim to cover and build with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal Mapper that we have, and what it entails or covers what's going to be disclosed in your report. So over here, I have my HCL 2024 Sustainability Report. And if you scroll down a bit, and I think if you go to the very starting pages of the report, it's page number 9 in this case, you will see that HCL has mapped all of its topics in the ESG sector with them separated into environmental, social, and governance issues to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And that's what we aim to automate with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal mapper that Carbon Ops has to offer. So you could see that in the environment section, you have topics like eco-efficiency, climate change that have been mapped to the corresponding sustainable development goals. Similarly, the same goes for social. So they have topics like human capital, local hiring, diversity, equity and inclusion, talent acquisition and retention, and then governance, sustainable procurement, sustainable impact on clients, governance and ethics, cybersecurity, data protection, and system availability. So that's what this particular aspect of the software as a service offering by CarbonOps is trying to automate. So this is the video 2 of the entire CarbonOps tutorial series. And in this video, we'll take a look at how you can make use of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal Mapper. So just a quick recap, we have created a client already, which is Microsoft Tech Global, and we uploaded 3 documents. The Global Diversity and Inclusion Report was one, the Microsoft Environmental Sustainability Report at the group level was one, and the third document was Microsoft TCFD report for the year 2024. Now, I'm going to go to the SDG mapper over here and select the client, which is going to be Microsoft Tech Global. And then now what I'm going to do is quickly click on this button, generate new SDGs. And that's it. So what the engine is going to do in the backend is analyze using document intelligence the corpus of documents that we uploaded in the client data panel for this client, which is Microsoft Tech Global, and then pick up information from those corpus of documents and then map our policies and initiatives that's taken by Microsoft as a client, which is our client, to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Now, there are 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, but then for each information, for each set of policies and initiatives, you'll get to see what maps to one of those 17 United Sustainable Development Goals. Not even one of those, but could be multiple in action also. Yep. So there you go. You have, first of all, if you go to the answer that's given back to you, you have these SDGs in 3 categories: environment, social, and governance. So let's say for environment, the topic is data center energy efficiency. And if you take a look at this narrative segment over here and click on view more, it gives you the entire summary of those corpus of documents that you uploaded that have initiatives and policies that could be mapped to the SDGs. So it says Microsoft is advancing data center energy efficiency through a multifaceted strategy that includes optimizing power usage, blah blah blah. The transition to chip level liquid cooling and high efficiency chillers is also improving both energy and water efficiency, supporting Microsoft's water positive 2030 commitment. All new data centers are designed for LEED Gold certification and all of that stuff. And then just beside this narrative column, you have the SDGs column. So this narrative and the policies and initiatives that were included in this narrative for the topic data center energy efficiency aligns with affordable and clean energy, industry innovation and infrastructure, responsible consumption and production, climate action, and clean water and sanitation. And if you click on each of these SDGs, it's going to also give you the reasoning behind why it thinks the narrative is attached to this particular SDG. So it says Microsoft's efforts to optimize power usage, transition to renewable energy, and deploying energy efficient technologies directly support affordable and clean energy access. And if I click on, let's say, clean water and sanitation, it says water efficient cooling and water reuse initiatives contribute to improved water stewardship in data center operations. Awesome. And if you scroll to the right section of the screen, that's where the transparency and auditability that we are talking about, our tool set, our CarbonOps SaaS that has to offer is in action. So these are all the citations. And if you click on view all, it's going to give you a list of all the citations that map back to the corpus of documents that you uploaded in the client and data panel. So this was the chunk from this document, which I can see is about the Microsoft Environmental Sustainability Report 2025. That was used as one of the chunks to create your narratives and the subsequent SDG mappings. Now, similarly, you have topics like green cloud solutions, electronic waste management, renewable energy sourcing. And then in the social aspects, you have digital accessibility inclusion, employee diversity and equity. And in the governance, you have ethical business conduct, board diversity and independence, all with narratives. And those narratives map to the sustainable development goals with their specific citations, which is absolutely crazy, right? It's just done at the help of clicking a button. And imagine having to do this manually. Imagine having to go through the entire corpus of documents and then manually picking your brain to generate this sort of mapping. It takes a lot of time. And for you to be able to save these SGG mappings and reference them in the future, you have a button on the top, clicking on which you can save your SGG mappings. So my SDG mappings get saved, and if I refresh my browser, I can then again select my client and click on fetch latest SDG mapping. So clicking on this is going to fetch the last saved mappings, which I just saved, right? And yeah, these are the mappings that was saved and fetched back from my database. Awesome. So that's all about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals in action. Now, for the next set of videos, we're going to focus on exploring the TCFD section, and we'll start by exploring the transition risks area.